All right, looks like we're back, and I want to thank you for joining me again. We're going to do a little bit more to this painting tonight, just a small segment. We take our time, find out you do lots of nice work when you take your time. Um, Sometimes you paint fast in that session, but just taking it in steps, letting things, let your mind rest, work on it. It seems like it works out really well for me, and I hope it does for you. So I'm just going to work on some this water right in here, maybe up in here. Hopefully some of this is dry from last night because I used some of the Neo McGilt medium. You can use liquid or whatever you have. An alkyd medium helps out. Just use small amounts, so don't use a lot. Don't want to dry your paint out too much, cause it to crack. So just use small amounts to mix in with your paint. Okay, so this is magic mushrooms, or all right, my name is Michael Thompson. I'm glad you're back with me. And I have a nice mushroom painting up here. We have Christmas mushrooms, and we're going to turn into a Christmas scene as we get farther into the painting. So a lot of this is going to be changing, as you see. This is acrylic I painted, kind of sketched in with acrylic and doing oils over top. And I'm excited to get into this a little farther. It seems like it just ignites your interest when you get going. So I've got my colors out here. I got some small brushes, got some little dagger brushes, and I've even got a brush with two ends. Got one with the dagger on one end and a filbert on the other end, and a little Egbert brush. Looks like a long filbert. I like these double-sided, but you have to be careful not to get it on your face or your arms or anywhere else. So just keep that in mind if you're using one of these double-sided brushes. But they do help when you want to flip over real quick. You're doing lights on one end, darks, things like that. So let's go ahead and work on like the water, some more of the water detail and the waterfall, just things like that, and maybe some more of the mushrooms. Now I did add some of the light on the mushrooms and some of this blue when you weren't with me last night after I stopped filming. So I am guilty for that, but I just wanted to take a little time ahead, just try to get things at a good pace. So we want to try to finish before Christmas. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on that. I'll stop talking so much. All right, give me just a second to get all my brushes out. Let's see here. All right, so I've got some medium out here to help the paints dry. It's Neo McGilt. You can use liquid, or there's all kinds of different mediums for oil paints that'll help them dry faster. But just use small amounts. I'm just barely touching, getting a couple of drops into it. I'm gonna go into some of this light blue. Let's go ahead and get started with this phthalo turquoise. Beautiful, beautiful blue. Love this blue. So it's got a good, cool feel to it. Look here. See that? Look, it's dark. I don't know if I want it that dark, but let's put a little bit right in here. We can put a little right in here and cause some mist and fog and things to happen. But look, I can glaze this, and look, you see how you can see that underneath and make it turn dark. Look at there. So it's not so bright. So I'm glazing with that little bit of that blue. Look, it tones that down so much. Makes it transparent. Of course, that color is already transparent, but when you add that medium to it, it really thins it. So enough about all this. How are you doing today? I hope life's been treating you kind. Hope you're having a nice holiday season. And it's not getting the best of you. It's hard sometimes to not get all wrapped up in the shopping, ain't it? Okay. Add a little more blue here. Now if you really want to get a deep color with that, I'm going to just take another separate pile of that phthalo turquoise and put a little medium into it. And look at this. See how dark that is? But you can put this on, create shadows back in here. Look, up in here. See that? I'm just putting this on at random. I can blend it, and I will, with another brush. But this is kind of away from the light. This is on this side of the light. The light's back there. So let's just scribble some of this in. Look at there. Now, the fun thing that I like to do is I'm going to take this big brush here, this 2-inch brush. Now this is a synthetic brush, and I'm thinking about offering these on my website for sale. They do. So I've been testing them out, and I really like them. They're easier to clean than those natural brushes, and they got a good still feel, but it's a simulated natural. But end up it gets a little dingy. I'm just blending that color that we put up there. See how it makes shadows, but I kept some of the light. So don't over apply that. This color is dry underneath, so I'm not worried about. If it had a little wet to it, it's not really gonna hurt it at this stage because I'm just blending. Just blending. And let me give you kind of an idea of what would happen if you took this dark blue with some of this medium in it, thin it out, make it super transparent. Now watch. You see that? See, I'm gonna put some tall grass here, but this is kind of a sketch laid in, but you can use this blue to change the turquoise and create shadows in. I'm just doing this as a test to show you what that's called glazing. See that? And look how you can see underneath there. But see how you can create layers of shadows underneath that? And all I did was apply one color, but it turned it from turquoise to a darker blue. But you can still see that turquoise shining through. That's what changes your paintings to different layers and levels of a painter, just by doing simple things like that. Okay. Let me grab some more of that dark. See, it's got to be cold, and that blue looks cold, don't it? So this helps get what we need. So I showed you, or I was telling you last night that I was going to show you a painting that I just recently worked on, and I'm almost finished with it. So I'm going to keep my promise on that and show you what you can do by following along or just taking your time with the painting, okay? So let me grab that painting, show you. Or let me take you and show you the painting. All right. So here we go. But see this? It's a larger painting. But this is what you can do if you take your time. I'm working on the bottom part, so I'm almost finished with it. And then I'll sign it. But that's what you can do. Look at this little painting that I recently did. So what if you put a month's worth of painting into it? But look what you got at the end. Just take your time and work a little bit. You can work 30 minutes a day and have one in no time. But you notice how thick the paint is right here. I put it on with a knife, so it's pretty thick. Let's see. Look, see it? Pretty thick. Gives that 3D look to it. Cool, huh? Here's one. Old wise tree. All right, let's look at this one here. But I've got several that I'm working on. I'll show you later.